I feel like I put my mind to something, like that I can get it done no matter what. So like no matter like how lucrative it is, like trading. I think like a big part of that for real has been like sticking to like just like 2 setups. Basically everything I have to do with trading is with those 2 setups.
Hey, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Next Gen Traders YouTube channel. As you can see, we have a new face on screen. We have another special guest for this episode, Jonas. As you guys saw the last episode with Jay, today we've got Jonas up in here. We're super excited for this episode. As you can see, it's me, Alex, and Xander with Jonas up here. And so we're going to get kind of a same sort of schedule as the last time. We're going to go over the markets. We're going to go over our trades. Jonas is going to go into a little slideshow that he made just about his journey and his process through trading. So we're really looking forward to that, getting to know him a little bit better, and hope you guys can take away the same lessons that we do. And yeah, so let's get right into it. Jonas is going to give himself a very, very quick intro. Then we'll get into the market conditions. So Jonas, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Again, like you said, I'm Jonas Moore. I'm primarily an OTC trader trying to learn listed right now. But, you guys know how that goes. It's not as easy as it sounds. But yeah, I have created a slideshow that goes over my journey. I'll go over that later after we go over our trades.
Awesome. Sounds great. So we'll get into the markets now. And Jonas, if you want to start off by talking about the OTC market this week, go right ahead.
So yeah, this week we've had some decent opportunities in the OTC market compared to the last couple of weeks for sure.
Yeah, and especially like, remember, Lance, in the last episode, I said that I was like a trend change in the OTC market because we used to have a lot of like 1 week, 1 good week, but then the next week was bad.
Yep.
So we had like 2 good weeks, and I was expecting the good week also to be this one. But then like the first, like I think Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday was like pretty bad. But then the last like 2 days, well, we like had a very nice movers in the last like 2 days. So they like flipped everything, like at least for like me and the overall market. So we're still kind of like having a, it just like, I can't even believe when I see like, and they actually work, they actually like, go continue with at least some volume compared to like in the like last few months. So I would say definitely this week there were again like 2-3 solid plays that you could have capitalized on, and even if you didn't, like it's still good because they're always going to be there. At least one, even through all the slow months, there was still one good, but now it's like 2-3. So yeah, it's the one thing that I'm like getting more as the weeks go, just have more and more conviction right now, like with like have wider risks and like size up maybe. So yeah, that's like a very good thing that we're still going. And if the 4th week continues, then that's like a whole month, and it's going to be a huge trend change. So we'll see how it goes.
So this trend is holding so far.
Yeah, yes.
It's like 3 consecutive weeks,
line,
and it's not like 1 week is hot and then back to nothing. This is holding so far.
Yeah, it's just been kind of crazy to see from going from like 3 to 4 like decent opportunities a month to like again, like you said, like 2 or 3 in like 1 week. Like
fantastic.
It's just awesome to see that, and hopefully it continues. And if it continues, I'm gonna be ready to capitalize for sure.
Love it. Great mindset. Awesome. You guys got anything else about OTCs?
No, that's it.
All right, Xander, start us off with listed.
Yeah, so first of all, like a full February recap since I haven't been on. Like after the Black Swan runners that we had, INDO, IMPP, and all the other ones, there was a clear like shift in the market. Like everything felt weird. Everything felt like different after that happened. And I don't know what it is, but I feel like we've had somewhat like more strength, which makes my setups lower win rate, which means I've been having a hard time, but I'll talk about that later. But that has continued on further in March. And like February was pretty dead, but March, we've had a lot of movers and even like multi-day breakouts, but things have been really difficult. I don't know, for me personally, but I don't know. What do you think, Lance?
I think that after last week's episode, after, Indo and Husa and IMPP made all their first runs, obviously that was the end of February, but the action kind of kept up. In the last episode, I was telling Alex, like, I agree, like the listed market is kind of following in the OTC market footsteps. Like everything's, kind of getting hotter, having more confidence, and, the follow through is, noticeably better. But for me personally, I feel like this week was nowhere as like volatile as 2 weeks ago. Like this week, I feel like it calmed down a lot compared to how 2 weeks ago was. And I think until world events cause volatility in the markets, obviously. And obviously it's not good world events, but they cause volatility in the markets. And if we get like a new sector, whether it's oil and gas or whether it's, electricity, EVs and stuff, but we'll play it by ear. But I think this week was a little bit less follow through than the week before, but still definitely better than it was the past few months. So
yeah,
that's about it. So Xander, you got anything to add about the markets?
No.
Awesome. So we're going to go over our trades now. Xander's going to go first, then I'll go after, and then Alex will go, and then Jonas will go, and then he will be able to branch right into his slideshow after he's done. So Xander is going to start us off.
Awesome. So I'll start off with,
Okay.
well, actually, I'll do a recap real quick. This is my equity curve since the last time I recorded a video, or last time I was in an episode on this channel. And my progress has been really good in terms of like knowledge and experience. And like I had a good growth happening, but literally March, I think, let's see, it was like March 8th that INDO and IMPP, that's when they all crashed. And like I said, I felt a change in the market, at least towards my style. And things just really changed. Like you could literally see like straight downtrend from there. And just now I'm starting to bounce. But the reason is, my main setup is high day clear out. So basically that's where, the stock sets a top in the morning, comes down, and then it retests that high day where longs are chasing the high day breakout. Most breakouts fail in the listed market at least. And so I'm shorting there. But I think after INDO ran and all that, I think we got some more strength, like Lance said. And so that strength is coming back, which means high day clearouts are actually not clearing out, they're breakouts and they're actually going. And so my win rate is going down. And one of my biggest problems, even during this run up, was getting good risk reward on these high day clearouts. Usually I was getting like on average, like 1-to-1 risk reward, maybe sometimes 2-to-1 risk reward or reward risk. But yeah, once that win rate dropped, that's what happened to my profitability too. But I've had some good trades, and I'm really just trying to figure out what works in this market, while also not trying to cycle chase or trying to not change too much my style. It's just not my market right now, probably. And I hope that next time, or when my market comes back, or when I am able to adapt, I'm able to focus on getting better risk reward. And in terms of my ADF system, which does get good risk reward, it's been like there's no sample size. I've only taken like 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11. I've only taken like 12 different tickers in the last 2 months, when normally it's like 50. So it's really crazy. Usually it's because there's no day one pre-market gappers. And so
Gotcha.
my gains have not been like, it's just been flat. And the one game that I did have that was really nice was 7R. So I know my system works. I just need higher sample size. But enough of the recap. I'll go over some of my trades. Actually, we'll go over the best one first. And it was actually a long. And I'll start with this. If you were watching the listed market, MULN is the most active ticker right now. And It actually just had a multi-day breakout. Now MULN, I tried this multi-day breakout before, but it actually failed the first time. And you could see I took like literally a 0.05R loss, like tiny loss. It was just a small cut, and I was prepared to add to the winner on this one. And then I tried it again once it retested that level, because it held all day. And then once we kind of gapped up, we trapped a lot of shorts from the previous days. And so that's when I went long pre-market, because it was setting up really nicely, and it worked out perfectly. It was a really nice trade. Now, of course, I actually came into this trade planning to swing it at least like 2/3 or 1/3 of the position, but I don't know. I just, a lot of my close short friends were saying like, oh, this is going to be a good short opportunity pre-market tomorrow. And so I was like, like I should just sell my long position. I should have listened to my original plan, because of course it's over 3 now. And to be honest, this stock gives me CEI vibes, meaning it's gonna go a lot further. But we'll see, I guess, next week.
I
And
have
if
a
it
question
does,
quickly.
yeah.
Sorry, Xander. Go ahead. I'll let you finish your sentence.
Oh no, go for it.
I was just gonna say, if this wasn't MULN and this wasn't like the most active stock right now, would you have been planning to have this as a high day clear out candidate in the afternoon there? Or was it
like intraday?
Yeah, like intraday.
Well, if it's I like high day clearouts on day one stocks only because
Gotcha.
those don't
Makes
have
sense.
momentum, and so
For
these
sure.
are a little bit more tricky. But there's definitely a setup there, maybe. But yeah, it's lower win rate, probably lower risk reward because once shorts get trapped, it makes the stock really hard to fade. Because shorts are just covering into the fade, and it just makes it really hard to fade. So I
Gotcha.
probably wouldn't look for a short on this. I know
Okay.
a couple of people did, but yeah.
Cool.
But like I was saying was yeah, I wish I swung it. Of course I didn't. It was my first like actual like long. I actually had a thesis on this long and I took it and it worked. So yeah, I'm gonna make adjustments for the future. And like I said, if this keeps going, it's gonna be a great short opportunity. So I really hope it does keep going as much as it'll hurt to watch it go without me. But yeah, I'll kind of speed run this. This is kind of like the style that I've been trading. It's kind of like a mini high day clear out, but instead it's like an opening range clear out. So in the first like 5 minutes, the stock sets a top and then it comes down like usually like over 50% like retracement of the opening range. And then it comes back up just a little bit over high day in the morning and it fails. Like that happens over and over again. And so this was a trade on it. Those covers were just, I oversized, so I covered a little bit, but this was a nice trade. And I covered some break even because I've noticed that recently there's been a lot of traps with the strength in the listed market. There's been a lot of traps. So I think I need to start covering a lot earlier, as you'll see with a lot of my trades. This one was a similar one. It was pretty good. And then we got another one. This was an actual day one gapper. I traded my ADF system, but stopped out. And then my ADF system, I only trade it pre-market. So after the market opens, I switched to my discretionary trading. And that one worked out pretty well on this, except again, this market, there's a lot of traps. So this was under view up, looked good for a fade. It held all day. That was a sign that it could trap. And I knew we were getting near end of day. So the chances of it trapping are going higher, but I just had a break even stop. So I was just letting the rest ride. And then I got stopped out on that. That was an insane move. But like I
Irish
said,
freaking nailed this long.
wait,
Yeah.
oh yeah, that's sick.
Dude, he nailed this long.
Yeah, it was a great long opportunity. And like I said, high day clearouts are not working as good in this market. This thing cleared out high day, and as you can see, it soaked and it ripped higher. It, like I said, is like you said, it is a great long opportunity because if you could see the soaking, you know they're going to trap it higher. This was another good trade. Again, opening range failed. Like I said, you know, I added to the winner on this one. It was a nice trade, but you could see I stopped out break even again. I need to recognize that this market is trapping, and I need to probably like, I hate the term, but nail and bail. Even though like I could get solid risk reward on this. I think on average like 2-to-1 risk reward with that type of cover. Because I do have a really tight stop. I really like the setup when how I can get a good stop and make good R, even though it's kind of a quicker trade, at least in this market. I did it again. It works on day 2 as well. But you could see the break even stop again. Like this market is just, you gotta cover quick, at least with this style. And then this was an intraday runner, kind of the high day clear out that I was talking about. I kind of started way too early. You could see it ran it over high day and then it failed. And I started shorting lows, which is, I shouldn't be doing that. I cut it after it broke out high day. It kept going higher. And then I tried it after you could see, you know, the volume is at all-time highs. And then we looked stuffy up here. So I got a starter and then I saw them soaking, meaning I know that they're probably going to run it over again. So I stopped out break even. And then finally I re-entered after they had like a micro shelf here, which is just a sign that they're you know, they're selling their shares, they're liquidating their position. And so I went short into that. And I had the proactive covers. So I'm trying to adapt to this market. And then I actually went long. This is something I'm going to be probably trying next week. I think there's a lot of long opportunities in the traps because I've been trapped so many times as a short seller that I should be able to recognize when they're trapping the stock and I should be able to go long. And so that's what I did here. And I actually sold most of my shares up here. These were just like tiny, like FOMO, like I'm scared I'm going to miss the move. These were tiny, these were heavy. So this is a good trade. Yeah,
Very
those
nice.
were the main trades. That was my month. So yeah.
Nice.
Awesome, Xander. Sounds like throughout all of the changing markets, you are adapting exactly how you should. And you
I
said,
hope
like you
so.
said, until your market comes back, you're just adapting until then, and that's all you can do. So
Yep, gotta stay alive.
yes, sir.
Appreciate
Alrighty, so I'm gonna go over my trades next. I had a lot of firsts happen for me this week. I made, my first swing trade this week. Actually, I swung 3 different days this week. So, after no swings to 3 swings, it was a little bit, mentally different for me. But I'm gonna go over a few trades. So I'm definitely red on this week, but I don't care about that at all because I feel better than I ever have. But so I traded IMPP this week, and I didn't check that there was an offering that they put out in pre-market, and so I scaled out half and I got stopped out with the other half, so that ended up being a loss. Lesson there was freaking check for the damn news and make sure there's no offering beforehand. But yeah, so I'm gonna share my screen really quick. Okay, so this is ISPO. This was my first swing trade of the week. I got in right here on this day, the 15th. It has great first green day potential, and I got in pretty early. Let me go into the intraday chart. So I got in this day right here at a 1013 average at this bounce near VWAP. So I got in right here, and I had wide risk at the lows of the day before. So I was risking 965, and the previous day's lows were about 967-ish. So I was risking wide. I got in right here at this little, volume perk. And so I held this through. This is way more illiquid than I normally would like. But so I held this all day, and I got stopped out in the morning right here. It just wasn't ready to go, and it was a great lesson for my first swing. So as you guys can see, it just chopped around, really illiquid, and hasn't really done anything since. This was more of a discretionary type style. Didn't really have any news or anything that was like super out of the ordinary. I just really liked what the chart had to offer, and that one didn't work. So that one was a 1R loss. So I was like, whatever, I'm moving on. B cell was the second swing this week, and this one I had a lot of great lessons with. So I got in B cell. Actually, let me go to the daily chart. I really like this one too. Also for a first green day, I got in right here on the 16th, and it kind of had a first green day. But as you guys can see, the 17th didn't really do much, and then the 18th went exactly to my price target. I'll talk about that in a second. So I got in right here on this first green day on the 16th. I got in pretty early. I got in around 10 a.m. Wait, this is 16th. Okay, so I got in around 10:04 a.m. So I got in this chop right here. I was risking below the low of the day, like below this opening candle right here at 275. So I gave it the room that it needed. As you can see, it chopped around, consolidated all day, and had a green day on the daily chart, but wasn't really doing much. And so this was the second day. I cut this for a very small loss, like 0.3R, because I hated how illiquid it was. It wasn't doing anything, and I was focused on another stock instead. And so because I entered my next swing, and so this one I was like, I'm cutting this. This is illiquid. I don't like this. And so, of course, the very next day, it had its move that I was looking for, right to its price target. My 340 was my price target. And, it went up to 356. And the daily chart's absolutely beautiful. And the main lesson here was, sometimes some illiquidity is, necessary for it to keep resetting.
Yeah,
And as
I
long as
definitely
it's,
know that feeling.
as long as it's above my risk, I know that Alex has said this so many times and burned it into his brain, but as long as my risk is still intact, I'm freaking holding on no matter how illiquid it is. I should have just let it go. I honestly should have just let it go. But live and learn. This ended up working perfectly, and we'll see how it continues to operate. So that was my second swing. Great lessons there. Really, really small loss, and a lot of great insight for the future. And so yeah, what's up?
Honestly, with swings, we gotta just set the range order, or maybe not yourself, maybe just set your stop and then just let it go. Like, don't watch it.
Dude, like literally, I mean the stop. Yeah, I just got to do a good till canceled stop and leave it.
Yeah, that's what I should have done with MULN, at least with like a third. But
oh yeah, it was with some size, yeah, at least. But we'll live and learn. So I'm gonna go over this trade. I'm gonna talk about this one a little bit longer. This was my chart's gonna look like laser tag. So I'm just gonna say it as a warning. Let me just flash the intraday chart. It looks like laser tag. Look at this. Check out my laser tag chart here.
Oh, you just expand each of the lines, right?
Yes, each of the lines are useful.
That's why.
Each of the lines are useful.
No.
Okay,
I'm saying you make them like so they like have no end.
Oh yes, I did. I did make them so they had no end. So yeah, what's up, Jonas?
I said I do that too with like all my lines for real.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. But this was AGRI. This trade opened my eyes in multiple ways. Definitely a first in things that I haven't really had happen before. A lot of thoughts that I can't let get into my mind, but I want to talk about those in just a second. So after this red day right here, and then we had this kind of setting for a screen day. Let me go to the 15-minute chart because that's where I really liked it. So we had the run, we had it kind of curl up here, and then it went right back up to its highs at 464. Held this line absolutely perfect. So I was like, okay, this happened before a few days ago. Why can't it do it again? So I really like the 15-minute chart here. So I waited for it to come down. I waited for it to set this bottom, because if this cracked through this 3 level, this was a completely invalidated thesis. But once it held this 3 level, I was like, this is holding the levels, the lows from yesterday. I was like, this is awesome. I really, really like this. I had a price target through 4. 4 was my price target. So once this held the 3 level, I really, really liked it. So I got in. I had a freaking fantastic entry. I got in right out of this morning little mini wedge thing right here at 316. 316 was my first entry. I sold a third of my position right here for 1R. I only sold a third of my position at 1R. I was like, okay, we're good. I'm going to be patient with this. And honestly, I didn't know I was capable for this kind of patience, but I guess I surprised myself. I surprised myself because usually, I know Alex knows this. I know Xander knows this. In my past, I have been quite a piker, and I sell when I probably shouldn't be. But yeah, anyways, I sold a third here. Then I was like, okay, original risk. I had it set, below at 307. Okay. So then it started making this consolidation, and I was like, awesome. This wedge is fantastic. The trend is holding. Added back that 1/3, so I recycled it. Actually, no, just under 1/3. The crappy thing about this was I didn't have any more settled cash to add my full 1/3 of my position back on. So I left off like 10 shares because I didn't have the settled cash, which really sucks. And also, to make matters worse, I got a measly the move came so fast right in the morning that I literally got $9 risk on this. So all in all, from the beginning, my position size was just really, really bad, but I wasn't worried about that at all. I was worried about the execution. So I entered back this 1/3 right at this trend break as soon as the volume started coming back in. So now I was back at, original size. And then I proceeded to sell that 1/3 up here at 346. I had a great sell. My goal was through this 340 line for my first position. And I was actually in class when I sold this 1/3. So I was like, okay, I moved my risk up at this point to 319, which is right at this level right here, right below the morning lows, right below this little wick down risk was 319. Let it go into after hours. I had a second price target for my second third of my position for 360. I can't tell you why I didn't take another piece off in after hours when it hit my price target. I had a lot of thoughts come into my mind that I can't let happen. I was like, oh, this is, a great swing. I'm up 5R. I have a 320 average. It's at, 360 right now. I was like, I let the thought get in my mind, this could be my new best trade ever. This chart could easily go to my price target at 4. This, everything is working out perfectly. I'm so confident and all this stuff that I can't say, and I just have to take the chart for what it is. So I needed to get my other second, third out some here, and I only should have swung 1/3 overnight. So that was the lesson right here. I should have taken a second, third off. Okay. So then in the morning, I let's just say that I cut it.
You still didn't break risk, right?
Huh?
You still didn't break the risk.
I moved my risk up like a dumbass. I moved my risk up. I moved my risk up below. I moved my risk down to 330, which was below like the afternoon consolidation around VWAP. And had I kept original risk, it would have been a lot better. But I just moved my risk up because I thought it was the best thing to do at the time. As you can see, had a huge freaking shakeout here. This made me I honestly kind of got a little bit aggravated that this happened. I was like, everything was looking so good. All these things that I can't say. I know Jonas and freaking Alex have said this so many times. Everything is looking so good, and then it just shit the bed. But anyways, so yeah, it just shit the bed, and I got out right here. It was a 5R gain that turned into a 1 point something R gain, and as you guys can see, it instantly recovered VWAP, pushed through 360, went to 370, closed beautifully. And definitely could continue through my price target of 4. So it's gonna gap to 5 tomorrow. I'm gonna be so damn pissed. Same thing with B cell. But like I said, I'm red on the week, but I don't care at all because I did a lot of first this week, and I feel better than I ever have, with my trading and with my strategy, and where when the chart is here, this is what I have to do, and having opening up a little bit more of a long-term approach, so that way when my next trades come along, I'm not going to pike them anymore, buy to hold until there's a reason to sell. But that was a lot. I just talked for a very long time. I'm sorry, but I just had to get everything off of my mind for a second. I kind of had to vent it out and say exactly what I was feeling. But this was my laser tag chart. A bunch of amazing lessons from this, and from my trades from the week. And I feel really good about my process right now. Just can't let the what could happen thoughts come into my mind instead of keeping the present moment and making the complete staying endured in the present moment only. So that was a lot. That was a mouthful, but I had to get it all out, and that's kind of an update on my trading lately.
Nice, very nice. It's kind of funny how you had 3 swings right after the episode when I said, why are you always selling that early?
Yeah, you're right.
Right after I said this.
Yep.
So now I'll go over my trades and then Jonas. Here's my first trade of the week. This was ALUS, and this was on, I think, Monday. I took the trade, and this was the trade when me and Jonas and also Jay were on in this. Oh yeah, this was actually a swing from Friday. So let's see. From right here, from right here we saw it from Friday, because I think he had, let's see, what day was this here, right? Yeah, we bought the trigger. Let's see, I have notes here. This one. Oh, here. So I had a few entries here, but that's because So the first trigger was this one, the main trigger. 0.145 risking. I think I risked 14, but you risked 14.1. So yeah, I bought there. I only got filled I didn't get filled everything, so I just left my order there, and I filled here, and then I added here, and it was looking so good. We were so hyped because I mean, it was looking so perfect at this moment to go out of this wedge, and then have this continuation to 17, But then it kind of was holding here and was still looking good for midday to hold, but then unfortunately died. So here it wasn't like we weren't like up a lot, so like not like we, you know. And then here I think in the morning again we had that lag, the level 2 lag, and since I had good risk because I moved my risk to 14.3, so I got a little bit slippage, but still not much. So yeah, it was like a 1.2 R loss for me. So yeah.
You guys had a lot of level 2 lags this
Yeah,
week.
every morning
DPLS
right now.
too.
Every morning right now.
Man,
Because also, yeah, every
that's
morning
tough.
right now.
That's really tough.
It is that, especially when I have 2 swings. Then, of course, this one. This one is so yeah. First, I'll talk about my loss on this. So I took this trade right here when I like had this big. So I took a trade here. Then it had another first green day after that, but that one I think that's Jonas and Jay, they missed it here. Here, but I wasn't even watching this, so yeah, it happened. It still went like 5R like in 10 minutes or whatever it is, and then it kind of like had this wedge off that level of that PR day, and then here it held perfectly here. So
yeah, look at that trend break.
And ABB, it never like ever since this happened, this November move, and they had like a news here that launched on this day and then it died. After that, we never had move to day moves, like never, like all day. Only time was like day 1 moves or 1 day moves or like a little gap the next day. So that was it basically. Like we never had any continuation. But like all other stocks, like IOUS, they all like had some already, like a little continuation. So and also of course this one, CYB, like all this had continuation. So I'm like, well, at some point ABB should also do it because you know it's like because I know the stock and I know that whenever she goes, whenever it goes,
yes,
like
sir.
it can go like a lot. So
this is Alex's wife right here. Alex is married to this company.
So I had some conviction on this. Obviously, every time I enter, I see like the first reason why I entered because it's ABB. Like that's one of the criteria, you know.
Of course, yes.
The first one was here, and I wish it didn't. Look how many notes I have here.
Oh my gosh.
You always have fantastic notes. Let's see them.
Yeah. So the first one was here, and that me and Jay, we entered here at a 14 break, risking, let's see, I think we had a 1. So risking 10 cents. Then it was very weird because it just stopped right away after this perk, but I was still held overnight. And then here I even added into the new day. This day I had to leave. Yeah, I had to leave my house for a doctor's appointment, I think.
Stupid doctors.
I don't, maybe this day or the other. Yes, this day. But that was like, so I was like, oh, it's so good, you know, like it's like at the high, it's not gonna perk and I feel comfortable, and then dumps, and right here I have to leave. Like right here, I have to leave. And of course I take my laptop with me, like, but then here we still have a nice like uptrend. And then here I was kind of afraid it's gonna go without me because I wanted to add again. But then I came home right here. Then it was looking very nice to like break 11th for me to add. But then it unfortunately just kind of dropped. But still, yeah, like look, it was above my risk. It never broke my risk. But I have a reason why I sold. I sold because there were like a lot of, I think the SCGX market maker or something, like there was like a lot of selling here. And you know, the next day morning lag, what if it just happens the same as DPLS? You never know. You know, it was like rather my risk. I just couldn't risk holding overnight because what if you just had a dump in the morning with the level 2 lag? I would just get another 2 hour, 4 hour loss. So I just couldn't risk that. So yeah, I sold there. It was like nothing, like $2 gain. But then I was so pissed the next day when it actually like they actually held it, like just professionals. So they held it, and then here in the morning this is actually the day when I almost fucked up 75 hard. I can actually talk about it later. I was very like in the morning. I was so frustrated because in the morning I thought I was done. I was like on the 44th day, and I thought I was done. So I was pissed. I came home, and then it went to 11. Like this was where I wanted to enter, you know, 11. And now we changed this to this. And then I enter here, and then Jay texts me. He's like, "Is that a FOMO entry?" I'm like, wait. Like, do I like is my like are my emotions affecting my decision? But then I'm like, no, it's a confirmation entry. Even though risk was, I was risking 10.05, so it was bad risk reward, especially for ABB. But I was like, well, I just still want to like participate because I know he has potential to go. And then like Lance said, remember, like see it through nothing. Here it was dead right here, just zero, nothing. He was just doing absolutely nothing. And I was saying like it's not gonna work, but it doesn't matter. Just continue, just as long as it's above your risk. And then I added again. I added again here at 11.2, and I moved the risk to 107. I think 107. Let's see. And also the one thing I'm doing right now, I don't even look at my risk reward during the trade. Like I covered the table, so I don't even see it. But I know that when I moved my risk, I almost like cut my risk in half. My risk reward, I mean. So if 12 was like 4 hour, at this point it was like 6 or something. But I didn't know exact numbers. Then here it started to go. Like they just let it go, and I didn't even look at the risk reward or anything. I was just playing the chart. And then here we close so perfectly right here, and then I swing and look what they do. They just, I mean, this is just drunk people. Because why would you buy right? Just crazy. And here, this sell again, I don't know the risk reward for this sell, but it is pretty good.
And a lot.
Yeah, a lot. The only reason why I sold is because, I mean, look, it wasn't looking that good, and the daily chart was very extended from the lows, and I kind of thought like it's gonna, he has a chance of dropping, but I just don't want to, like give all my gains back. So I sold third there, but then they actually worked. So then I sold another third. So this was like combined third. So this was basically my goal, 13. So I sold, and then I have 3 right now, 1/3, and then I just let it go. I just didn't do anything, and all day. And this is like, obviously this is above 10, but above like maybe even 15 hours. But I don't know, yeah. I only held third, but still good. And so yeah, and they have news, upcoming news on 22nd. So Monday's gonna be 21st. And the last time they had news,
selling news.
They had news on I think 27th. So everything before that they just ramped it up, and then here at they even gapped at the news, at the day of the news. So I expect the same thing on Monday. And if it gapped, like, I don't know, if it goes to 17, probably I'll sell everything there. But like I have 10, 11 average. So it's only almost a 50% move. And if only
average.
If only I held my 10.04 average from there, I was like 50% move at the top. But yeah, I'm very like proud of the way like how because before I would just sell because I would look at my risk reward, and here was like 5.7. I would have sold.
We talked about this last week.
Yes, exactly.
Yep.
So the same thing here. I didn't do, like, I only sold here because like I had to lock in. I can't be that greedy. So, and it actually did the multi-day move, even like it did the multi-day breakout here. So yeah, this is just ABB. It's the gift that keeps giving. And the last one is HMBL. It's very quick. I entered here on the nice trigger, and actually Jack Kellogg also entered right there, like exactly there. You can even see him. He has 400,000 shares. Look right here. This volume.
Oh my god!
Oh my gosh, dude!
All of him here, and I know, like, I have a friend who is in his Discord. So Jack said that his goal is 2 or 25. And I'm
Damn it! What?
Like, are you serious? Like, well, I mean, okay, like I wouldn't mind that, like above this breakout. So we'll see. I even actually added this day, yesterday, because this was like a very key level, and the market maker just never moved. The Citadel just never moved. But like when I added, he did move for a sec, but then he came back. So I still added, and now my risk is still pretty wide, like 13.2, so I'm pretty comfortable. And it's not even half size risk; it's like $17 risk at this point. So yeah, overall on the week I'm red, but obviously next week I'm not gonna be red. So technically I'm red, but yeah, next Monday, hopefully. I mean, if it keeps going, I might. I don't know, but this one I will be more like if I want to swing like more, I'll choose HMBL obviously because it had potential to go. ABB already did the move, so now just continuation, and plus we have the GOAT on board with us, so we're gonna be with him.
Very nice.
So yeah, that's basically it. I think it was also long, right? But I mean, I just wanted to like talk about the ABB especially because it's just crazy, like how every single time happens, like it just works every time. I don't know, just two professional market makers, you know.
One of those tickers.
Yeah.
But like the only ticker in the OTC market that works every time like that.
Yeah, seriously.
Literally.
Like, and the times when it doesn't work, I have like small tiny loss. Like I've never had big losses on ABB.
And when it works though, it's going like
Yeah,
5,
like
10,
bonkers.
15 every time, like fast.
So now Jonas, you
Alex,
can go
you know
over
what's funny? Wait, before Jonas goes, Alex, you know what's funny? On Thursday, I looked at AABB and I literally just like said out loud, I literally yelled to myself. I looked at it and I was like, I bet you that Alex has been in AABB since Monday the entire week. I literally said that out loud to myself.
Monday.
And now you're going over these. I was like, oh, okay, I understand now. But it was funny. I literally was like, Alex has been in this damn thing all week. I bet. That's what I literally said that. But yes, Jonas, it is finally time.
You can also
see what you got,
can
brother.
also talk about not only this week's trades, right?
Okay,
Yeah. You have to mention
of course.
DPLS.
I'll just talk
Whatever
about
you got the floor.
Okay, let me share my screen real quick. Okay, so this month hasn't really been that exciting for me, I guess you could say. I've taken throughout, like, we're 75% through the month so far, and I've taken the least amount of trades this month I've ever taken. I think I've taken about like 5 or 6 so far. And basically like nothing really special. Like the only reason is because like I was trying to get my mentality in like the right place for this month. And I'll just go over a few of my trades, or a few of the ones that I feel are worth going over. First one being the DPLS one.
Nice.
Alex, you remember when we were in it this day and the level 2 was lagging like crazy.
Oh, the death trade day.
Yep. We entered out what, like 50, 58, somewhere around there, 50.
58.5.
Yeah. And then the level 2 just started, literally level 2 started lagging like right before it panicked too.
Yeah,
it? It wasn't doing it before it. But
yeah,
like,
I mean, well, it was kind of, because I entered because the ask was 58.4, but the prints were 58.5, and I was like, that's something weird. So I kind of did see that, but obviously I couldn't have imagined what happened.
Yeah.
He just died in like 3 minutes, and
I literally had no words. I was like in so much shock. We went away from the computer after that happened. It was like a 4-hour loss. And then
it was 4 hours.
Literally went away, came back later in the day, saw that it was holding up, and it looked like it looked a lot better at the end of the day than it did in the morning, obviously, after it came back and held up, and took it again that time and made back most of that loss. I'm pretty sure I was still down like 1R on the ticker after this trade, after I scaled it out right here.
How good did that feel that it instantly recovered back and you had a great entry and a great trade on it though?
Felt so good because
dude, I bet.
I was in the dumps mentally after that one because I already had like a string of losses where like basically I couldn't get anything going. Like a lot of times it was my own fault, like entering before my trigger, just making like stupid mistakes that I know I shouldn't be making. And then like something like this where it's kind of like, like the level 2 is not working, and like you take
because it wasn't even your like fault,
Yeah, I don't want to say it wasn't my fault because like but like the level 2 like still probably should have just got out, seeing the price action just go down that low, but like never seeing that happen before.
Never.
Like with the bidder like so much higher than it was dropping, and just
the thing is, because there was like 156 print, but we thought it was like, because not like it was like a misprint, because sometimes OTCs do that.
Yeah,
that's why we didn't even like. Like okay, but then like when there's like 10 of them and 20 more orders,
it just stays there after like 10 seconds. You're like, oh shit.
Yeah, then.
But yeah, and then took it. This day is actually something I don't normally ever do. Take like, because the move had basically already happened, like the breakout had already happened, and this day I kind of just took it because like there was like a lot more interest in DPLS and like than any other stock in the OTC market at like this point, and I just like the risk reward that it was like giving towards end of day was just like really nice in my opinion, and I just thought that it was a decent setup to just take a part in. So I ended up taking it there, and then I ended up selling a little bit before
they
close.
They just let it go whenever you took it.
Yeah, they literally just let it go. Yes. And then I ended up scaling out into the next morning. Probably should have held, but I just didn't really feel had that much confidence in holding on like a
because this was like too extended at this point.
Yeah, and plus like I didn't think it was gonna get up to 89.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. But
But it was still nice, you know. You took
that was my
yeah,
DPLS trade.
yeah. That was two 4 hours, right?
You said what?
That was 2 4 hours.
Yeah. And then
Beautiful.
Jay took DPLS right here, didn't he?
Oh yeah, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous how it took it. He took it like next day, you know, like
He
next
took
day.
it right there on that dip.
No. See
No, right
his
here.
average was 6.
Right
Yeah,
here.
right there.
Right there.
I don't know how. Literally, just took it at 6.
And then
Yeah, ridiculous. That was like,
didn't he add like right here or something?
oh yeah, that was because that was like he took it at 585 and then at 6 added.
So he took it
585.
he took it as like a dip buy.
Wow.
No. It was just it just like took a starter for a first green day because it was looking good for a first green day, and then
for sure.
they just let it go again. That was so crazy. Like, oh my gosh, that morning spike. He made like 8.
This looks nice right now, actually. This
Yeah,
consolidation right here.
I'm looking at playing over this.
It is the next breakout coming.
But
beautiful.
Yeah, that was my DPLS, and then LUS is the other one. Alex already went over it through up here. Took basically the same exact thing. But I want to go over a trade that I had on it from Friday. I hadn't taken a trade all week this week, and Friday I was just like I was ready to take a trade. I was in like a decent mental place on Friday, I thought, going into it. So I was like I thought that I was ready to take a trade if there was something that like I thought looked good enough to take. And in the morning, this is what LUS looked like that day. I guess I gotta do this. This is what it looked like in the morning that day. I bought the morning trigger. I got in at 15.36, I believe, over at 15.36, risking 15, and I was up about. I'm trying to think how much. I was up
4 probably.
I think it was closer to 5.
At the top, yeah.
But yeah, didn't sell any up here. I'm not sure. Well, I know why I didn't sell any up there. I probably shouldn't have. I should have at least taken off some, but I thought that this had like a lot of room to run, to be honest. And I thought, and like in my mind, I had this at that time. My thesis has changed since then. Well, obviously after what it did, but my thesis changed after I sold, which is something that I would like to not have to do. I would like to have the same thesis before I get in it. You know what I mean? But basically, I thought that it was gonna hold up the rest of this day and then have another move towards end of day and have some continuation into the this Monday, or well, wait, I just got my days messed up. Holy crap! I took this on Thursday, and I expected this to have continuation on Friday, but so what I did that was like such a mistake that like I feel like I can like learn so much from this trade is my ad right here. So my initial plan was to get an ad at above this level at 1633 right here, and I couldn't get filled there when it perked over that, and I was gonna risk 16 off that ad, and just because I couldn't get filled there, like I got emotional in that moment, like didn't even like realize it like in that moment that it happened, like I was kind of like salty that I couldn't get filled there. So basically the next place I was looking to get my ad over was 16.5, this level right here. And instead of like keeping the same risk at 16 as I should have done, I moved my risk up to VWAP because there was a 500K bidder there that had basically been supporting it throughout this whole time and had been moving his size up I forget what I'm trying to say. He just kept moving his bid up. Just kept moving the bid up and supporting it. And then he literally just randomly got taken out, like up and through here, and one print just got taken out. And then I was like, after that, I was like, oh crap, like I'm probably gonna have to end up cutting this ad. Like it probably isn't gonna go today. Even though I do remember Alex saying like it still probably goes after he got taken out. But yeah, basically like what I took from this was to just stick to my like original plan. Like basically like it makes sense that like this wasn't gonna have another move up today if like you really look at how far like this ran in the morning and like just blew past that level. and I should have just kept my initial risk on it, and probably should have taken some profits off of here just because of like how like explosive that move was to begin with in the morning. And I'm just taking that as a lesson. I mean, it was like a little less than 2 hour gain, but it was up like 5 or 6 hours. So I mean, took a good lesson from it. So yeah.
Good thing it didn't then, gap and went to like 18 the next day.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, that's true.
Same exact lesson as me. I feel like I'm watching myself right now.
But yeah, if you guys, that's basically all the trades I've taken this week, or anything from like March, to be honest. All the other trades aren't really worth going over.
Very nice.
I can start my presentation
Yep.
if you guys would like.
Yes, great job, Jonas. I like these notes. The trigger and the risk, it makes it very clear. So it's awesome. But yeah, get into your slideshow, Jonas. Looking forward to it.
For sure. This is a little slideshow I put together, just basically going over like my journey so far. It's nothing like really special. It's kind of just like bulleted points of like topics that I want to cover, basically. So yeah, let's get started. Introduction to me. I'm 19 years old. I live in NKY. Interesting thing about me is I wanted to be a Navy SEAL before I actually even found out about trading. I actually went to military school, chose to go to military school my junior year of high school, about halfway through it. And that was about a 6-month journey. I did that because I wanted to like get a little taste of like what the military was like before I decided to go there. And it was a pretty good experience. I have to say I took like a lot of things from it. Like the main thing being like that, like I just believe that like I can like just get through anything basically, because like it kind of sucked, like especially like halfway through there, like when I just like really wanted to go home, because like it wasn't exactly what I thought it was going to be like I thought it was going to be more of like a physical thing, but it wasn't as physical as I thought it was going to be. There were still like physical parts of it and stuff. Like my sergeants would like literally come grab me separately sometimes, and like if you guys know what smoking is, like it's basically like where they like make you do like a bunch of exercises for a certain amount of time, and like basically are just screaming at you like the whole time. So like I thought that was kind of cool, but I thought it was going to be like more of that, and it was less of that. And so I was kind of like disappointed that of what it was, and I wanted to go back home at like halfway through it. And basically like just talking to my sergeants and talking to like other people that I'm around here, like basically saying like somebody told me that like if you can't get through this, then like what makes you think that you can get through buds training? And I hadn't looked at it that way like since I've like basically just decided that it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. And somebody telling me that basically like if you can't get through this, something that's like easier than you thought it was going to be, if you can't like just make it through this, like stick out the time, then like there's no way you're going to be able to go through buds. That kind of like just hit me differently, because like from that moment on I realized that it was like it's not like a physical thing being here, it's more like a mental thing. Like I'm away from everybody, like you know what I mean. And like just kind of took that, and like from then on I was straight with being there. Like I had a good mentality about being there. And after I did that, like that kind of just like I don't know, it's just kind of one of like something that stuck with me ever since then. Like just like not quit, like knowing that like I can like get through anything, because I got through that, and like how bad I wanted to leave at one point. So like yeah, that's basically my story about military school. But I live with my grandparents as of right now. Great people. They're completely supportive of what I do, which is not always the case for everybody, especially in our field.
Say that again.
I just want to go over mentality and mindset, even though I kind of did when I was talking about military school. Like I've always been like big into like mentality and like mindset, like in psychology, really. Just like making sure that your mind's right, because I don't think if your mind's right, like you can have like the skills and the talent to do whatever you want to do, but like if your mind's not there and you're not in like the right mental state, then you're just like you're not going to be able to do what you want to do. So yeah. And what got me into trading? I've always been a pretty dedicated person when it comes to things I'm passionate about. Like one of my first loves was basketball. I played basketball from the time I was in 3rd grade all the way up to sophomore year was my last year playing in high school. And so yeah, went from that, and then kind of after basketball, I kind of jumped into SEALs and stuff like that's kind of what I gravitated towards after that, and like a lot of like the motivational mentality stuff, like David Goggins and Jocko Willink and stuff like that. And then well, when I first found out about trading, I didn't know what to think at first, obviously, because there's a lot of BS out there and contradicting information, and it's kind of a lot to take in at one time. And then I found Tim Sykes on YouTube and started watching like just some of his like videos, his regular videos, like the 10-minute, 6-minute videos that he has on there. And you know, it started like to intrigue me a little bit, but I still wasn't like 100% sure about it at all yet. And then like one night I just randomly saw valet driver turned millionaire day trader, if you guys know what I'm referring to. Yep. Just randomly saw that on my recommended on YouTube and decided to click on it, and couldn't go to bed that night, couldn't sleep. I'm glad I couldn't sleep that night because I watched all 4 parts.
Wow.
And that's kind of, that interview is kind of what just like did it for me. After watching that interview and like seeing like Jack Kellogg, that's like one of the major things about trading, like initially, that like made me believe like 100% that I could do it. Cause like, you know, no knock to Jack Kellogg, but I was just like looking at him and like he's just like a normal guy, you know, like
Right.
any one of us could compare ourselves to him, like, you know, coming from like a small town, like big into sports, good at video games, like, and then like obviously he was like very passionate and dedicated person, and like that's how I feel about myself, and just seeing all like the things that I had in common with him and what he was able to accomplish, and seeing that kind of like put the notion in my head that like, all right, this is real, like people are really doing this, like it's not just a thing like where people are trying to scam to get money, and like, you know, like people are really actually out here learning how to trade and like putting like time into it and learning how to do it and making it their career. And that was kind of like something that was awesome to see, and kind of like, you know, open my eyes to what the possibilities are.
I love that, man. I love that. That click in that recommendation was literally changed your life.
Yeah, nah, literally. And ever since then, it's just the ball's been rolling for sure.
Love it.
But I'll just go over basically a little thing throughout each month, like basically just describing like what was going on throughout each month since I started. January is like basically when I started studying a lot, and it was like 8 to 12 hours a day of studying, like trying to take as much information as in at one time. Mainly it was YouTube videos at first, like Twist podcasts, like all kind, like Chat with Traders, stuff like that. Just you know, like the stocks to trade, you know, stuff like that. And after that I started purchasing some Tim DVDs, which, you know, if I could go back, wish I had all the money I spent on those.
Yeah.
But,
Wish you met me earlier, huh?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, really.
I can't be too mad though, because it's for sure worth it looking back now. Like,
yes,
I would do that in a heartbeat. Like I'd still spend it again, because didn't know Alex at that point, and without the Tim DVDs, maybe there would be no me and Alex. So
true.
Right.
But basically, yeah, just learning something new every day, and working 3rd shift, making money to fund account at DHL. Been there for a pretty long time now. But yeah, that was basically just January through June, just like trying to study, learn as much as I could, like watching the markets when I had the chance. But yeah, just a lot of studying for real. And then July through August, I started paper trading a little bit. I was trying a bunch of setups, mostly like it was mostly randomness, had no edge at all at this time. I was still studying mostly every day, watching YouTube and videos. Oh, this is when I started getting into stock therapy around this time. Got in, like learned a ton from Dom and Huddy in stock therapy. That's when I started like focusing in on like OTC breakouts on first green days, because of the way that like Dom talked about them and the way that he was able to explain it. That's like what really like intrigued me to like just focus in on like those two. And so glad I did that, because that was definitely the right decision. Yeah, sure. And September is when I started trading with real money. Still no clear concept of risk reward yet. Still look for breakouts and first green days and play off those levels. And was learning a ton from Dom and Huddy during this time, obviously. learning something new every day, like I said before. And then at this time, I was still the new using margin account on E-Trade, paying commissions. Was doing that for a long time until like a month after I met Alex, actually.
This was this past September, like 2021.
Yeah.
Wow, bro.
Yeah.
You have made insane progress.
Oh,
My
yeah.
gosh.
For
That
sure.
that is insane, man. Like this is
I know, yeah.
fantastic.
That's why I always give so much like credit to you guys, because like with like I wouldn't have learned like so much of this stuff if it wasn't for you guys. Like I would like Alex, I owe so much to Alex, for real.
Dude, me too. Me too.
Great guy
Me
for
too.
sure. Anyway, getting back into it. October through December, I was definitely getting better. I was looking at the right plays, still taking random trades every now and then, which, you know, I mean, every now and then to this day, a random trade comes out. But met Alex in November, the risk reward guru, I call him.
Mr. Risk Reward.
But yeah, and he put together the Discord Sniper Trading. Met some amazing guys I talk to every day. Talking to right now. Really started putting like a lot of the information that I've been learning together like through this time. Like started getting better at reading the level 2, the tape, and just OTC price action in general. Started getting like pretty comfortable with my process during this time and like what I was doing, like comfortable, like just, you know, just being at the market every day, like knowing what I'm looking for, like the type of entries that I like to get, you know what I mean? Just that type stuff. And then January through February, coming into 2022, I was pretty overconfident in my trading because November and December were pretty decent for me. And I don't know, I was ready to up my risk at the start of January.
I remember this.
Yeah, I was ready to up my risk at the start of January. Started it off with a decent trade on ABML. And I expected the OTC market to heat up, like instead of reacting to what happened. So I sized up, and as I size up, I take a string of consecutive losses. I believe I took like 10 or 11 straight losses, and just started making more mistakes, getting in before trigger, sizing in wrong because my mentality was in the wrong place. Like I just upped my risk, and now I'm like losing like every trade that I take. Should I even be risking this much? What am I doing? Like is it just random, or like, you know what I mean? Like those thoughts are just going through my head during this time. And then not taking 3 to 5 hour gains, was up 3 to 5 hour like a few times throughout this time, and then just watching it come back all the way down, cutting for small loss, break even. You know, just the completely wrong approach for the market that we were in, because I went in with the approach that like the market, like OTCs were gonna be like golden at the start of 2022, and that was wrong. And instead of like adjusting immediately, I kind of just like waited it out and to see like what was gonna, like, see if maybe like see what was gonna happen really. Like I didn't know if I was like just completely wrong, or if I was just like, maybe it was just like I was just taking like the trades, and the trades just weren't working out, like, and it wasn't necessarily like what I was doing. But like after this is when I started to like change what I was doing. Came into March with a pretty good mindset, like to only focus on the ideal tickers in the OTC market and not try to force anything, and, you know, get in with the right amount of size every time, you know, not get in before my trigger, any of those stupid mistakes, taking the least amount of trades through the first 75% of this month and any month before. Made back 10 losses in 2 trades. US trade, I already went over that. It was a great lesson to take away from there about, you know, actually didn't even go over this part, but basically like on that US trade, another like a big thing that kind of like stood out to me, and Jay pointed this out to me, was like adding in midday, like basically like where I was adding, like I had like no reason to like I had no reason to think that like a bunch of volume was going to come through after that ad, and like it was going to be like a good move, and it wasn't necessarily like a place where I could have just moved my risk up there like for good, like, you know what I mean? Like it just like didn't, it wasn't a perfect spot to add, so I don't want to add there is how I'm feeling about it. And yeah, and then basically I'll just go over my mentality right now and my thoughts on my process going forward. I'm pretty happy with my mentality right now and like where I'm at, like just waiting for the most ideal setups that I see in the OTC market, not try to force anything, obviously. I like the momentum that we've been seeing, and I hope that it continues. And if it continues, I'll be ready to capitalize on it. And, just like come into the market every day with the right mindset, and, not get greedy, because I got greedy on that ad and I got bitten the ass for it. So I just got to come in with the right day, play the chart. What I want to do is like what Alex was saying earlier, stop like thinking less about risk reward, because which it's kind of hard for me, because like that's kind of like what I like shifted my entire focus towards reward. So like just trying to get away from that and like play the chart and like just focus on the chart. It's a little difficult for me, because like sometimes I just subconsciously like figure out my risk reward in my head without even like thinking about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just something I'm working on. But yeah, that's basically all I got in the slideshow.
Yeah, that's perfect. Me and Alex literally talked about this last week, and how Jay was like, Alex, actually, why don't you say the story about how you were talking to Jay and he was like, the chart doesn't care where I'm in at. Yeah, say that.
Yeah, it's when he had like a very good entry ad, and the risk reward like was super good, and he was up like 8R, and then I said like, why are you not like selling? He said, but like if I had different average, you wouldn't be saying that. And I was like, yeah, that's like true, because if you had like different average and that 8R for you was 4R, I would have said like hold more. But obviously the stock doesn't care, and it's gonna go. If it's gonna go, it's gonna go. Like it doesn't matter what your average and risk reward is.
Yeah, you're basically trading your P&L at that point.
Yes, yeah. It's,
right.
And
I
said the same. I said something. Remember, I was like, looking at the risk reward is kind of like trading the P&L at this point. Yeah, because like you're not stupid. Like if your risk is $40, 4 hours is 160. You're not stupid. You can understand that. So it's basically that is. So yeah, I'm trying to like before I was not caring about the money, only risk reward, and now you have to like combine those together and just not care about anything at all, just the chart. So it is hard. Obviously, it is hard. Yeah.
I feel like what I just need to do is just like basically figure out if the chart like makes sense risk reward wise before I get in.
Yes.
And then just figure out like what I think that the chart can do, like what I think that it could possibly do, and then like just react, change my thesis as the price action goes on. But
one of the things I also do is when I add, obviously my risk reward changes, but I'm trying to think of risk reward as if I didn't add. So if, for example, ABB, I had 11 entry, risk in 10.05, so 12 was what? 13 was 4R. But with the ad, obviously, was more than 4R. But I was like, no, like 13, that's my like first level when I like my plan is. Yeah. So that's why I didn't even sell anything. I mean, yeah, I sold because it was looking weak, but like still, I was like, the 13 was my level. Like 4R was like 12.2, and it's not like when it hit 12.2, I have to sell, because that doesn't mean that I have to sell. Just I added, so now my average is better, so I still have to hold, because again the stock doesn't care.
That's what I was doing throughout like November and December. I would see like 4, 5R.
Yeah, but that is so important. And that part, Alex, I'm going to say it again. The part that you said, when you asked Jay, it's up 8R, why aren't you selling? And he said, the chart doesn't care. If you got in at higher price and you're only up 4R and I'm up 8R, it doesn't matter, because the chart's going to do what the chart's going to do. That, when I started thinking about that after you said that last week, I was like, wow, that's really eye-opening. Like it does not care where you are. And like Xander said, you're kind of trading your P&L when you're only looking at risk reward.
You for sure are. But I think, no cap, I do think it's a little bit different though. Because
of course it is different.
Because if you're thinking about things in terms of risk reward, obviously it's more
it is better, but still there is something there. Like you can sell only because of the R.
Yeah.
For sure. Well, Jonas, that slideshow was awesome. And I just want to say this. Your progress over the past few months has been like the most insane I have ever seen. Like literally, like bro, you were going through that in like from September, and then January, and then you switched brokers, and then it was 0 commissions, and then you were focused on this, and this, and then you had trash ass level 2, and then you're here, and just as you develop the slideshow, the progress is clear, and it's like the best progress like I've seen personally. And I'm not just saying that, like truly it is.
I appreciate that, bro. And I'm not gonna lie, like this has been like the best year of my life. Like just since I picked up trading, and like just like just like every day, like just like trying to like pick up on it as much as I can. and, just try to take something new every day. And like, just so focused in on my process and like not like the money like at all. Just like trying to like, I just want to like, just have a process that no matter what, like when I had that string of like 10 losses and then 2 wins makes all that back, like that is the best feeling in the entire world.
Yeah.
That, like,
Oh,
that
yeah,
tells
man.
you that like,
I remember
right.
when you were going through that, I was like, it's gonna happen. Like, it's gonna happen. I literally told you that.
I knew it was gonna happen.
Yeah.
Like deep down, I knew it was gonna happen eventually.
It's like every time, every single time.
It's just the constant job of keeping your
Yeah.
mind in the right place and like mentally.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely. And I think the fact that like since you're working at DHL so much in the third shift, like I think that helps it even more for you to not like worry about the money at all. Like
Yeah.
obviously you're focusing like on your process, but you know that since you started trading, money means like a lot different terms than it used to.
Yeah.
And I think that's a great adaptation, and it allows you to focus on your process even more. So
yeah, for sure.
Definitely. All right, well, we're going to get into some questions for Jonas now. I know Alex has a few prepared, and then we can just ask whatever other ones that we have. So, Alex, start it off.
So the first question is the same as I asked Jay. Remember when I said that day trading is very lucrative from outside, everyone sees only success, but every successful trader once was a beginner when he had like that 1 or 2 things that kept him going, that like without giving up. And so yeah, and my question is, what is your why? Why did you start trading? And what makes you driven every day? Because it's not just money, it's something else.
Yeah. The reason I started trading, well, there's a couple of reasons, but like one of the main reasons I would say is like, I'm not gonna lie, like I like trying like really hard things, like things that like a lot of people can't like do or accomplish. And like I like because I'm like one of those people that like if I feel like I put my mind to something, like that I can get it done no matter what. So like no matter like how lucrative it is, like trading, like I feel like, and obviously it's not something where you just sit down at a desk and you're gonna like you just grind it till you get it. But like I have like the type of mindset like where I could be here for as long as it takes me, like just keep showing up day out and just until I get it. And so like I guess you could say I'm a grinder at heart. So basically like that was like one of the big things for me is I just like doing challenges and like completing like really hard challenges. And another thing is like my mom, like she doesn't have like the greatest job. And so like basically like my parents are split up, and like my dad's side is like does like pretty well. Like everybody on my dad's side does pretty well. My mom's side's a little different. Like she doesn't really have as much family, and like it's kind of just like me, my sister, and my mom. And so she's always kind of had it hard. She's always been like one of like the strongest people I've ever met. Like always like worked like harder type jobs, like labor type jobs, and like she would be working like third shift like when I was like really little. And like so just seeing my mom like grind and like just have that like that type of mentality like where you never give up, and like like where basically you're just happy to be with your family and stuff like that. And like seeing that, and then like seeing like the like other side on my like dad's side where like everybody's like pretty like done pretty good, everybody has like pretty good jobs, like deep not like nice houses, like seeing that and like seeing my mom's, like it just kind of like makes me feel like some type of way. So like I've always like for like the longest time I've always had like this dream and like goals, like being able to buy my mom a house and like put her in like a whole new place. And that's just something I've always like really really wanted to do. And there's like a lot of like I'm like one of those people, like having money doesn't really bring happiness to me, but like what would bring happiness to me would be able to like put the people that I care about in positions to where that they could like do not necessarily like with trading or anything like that, but like or not necessarily what I'm about to say like with college, but like how college is a thing where you could pay for somebody's college and they could go learn, like something of that sort. Like it's something that I would love to be able to do for the people that I care about, like for whatever they wanted to do. You know what I mean?
I love it, man. Fantastic backstory, and love the generosity. I love it.
Yeah, appreciate it, man.
And I want to add something when you said like whenever like you keep your like whenever you want to do something, you're gonna like show up every day. You know how people said that crazy is someone who does the same thing expecting different outcomes?
Oh yeah.
So it's exactly what like traders are in the beginning. when we like show up every day, we do the same thing, expect like but there's still nothing, but we still keep going, and then at some point, eventually, it's gonna work out.
It's like my grandpa always tells me, "You're crazy till you're a genius."
Yep.
It's true. It's true.
So you want me to go next too?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Sure,
So
go ahead.
have you ever encountered any like misunderstandings or even like hatred? I don't know, like from your family or friends or other people, like about what you're doing, and if so, how have you handled that?
My mom was actually the one that did it. And it wasn't necessarily like disrespectful or anything, but like my mom knew like that I was like big into trading and everything, but she doesn't like really know like the full scope
Yeah, of course.
of everything. Like
Definitely.
but, she knows that like I was paying for stock therapy and Diamond Huddy's like thing. And Alex, let me tell you how sketch and skeptical she was of Diamond Huddy.
Course.
Like she thought that they were trying to scam me. Like she literally thought that they were trying to scam me. And I was trying to explain it to her. Like when I was telling her that we were gonna go to the in-person boot camp, she was like, she said something like, "They're not gonna ask, she was like, they're not gonna ask you to give them money to invest in." And then that's what set me off. Like I'm not gonna lie, I went off on that time.
Money to invest? What?
She asked me, she was like, when we go down to that in-person boot camp, she was like, "They're not gonna ask you to give money to invest in, are they?" I was like, "Mom, like I've literally like," and I had talked to her about these guys. Like I had shown her conversations like on Discord that I've had with them, like DMs, and like that just like set me off when she said that. But that was basically like the only time. And yeah, everybody else is pretty supportive. Like my dad is very supportive of what I do. Even my mom is pretty supportive. She was just skeptical about Diamond Huddy because she thought I was getting scammed. But yeah, my grandparents are extremely supportive of what I do. Like my grandpa is actually like very interested in like the stock market and like what I do. He thinks it's like really cool.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's fantastic, man. I love
Has
that.
someone told you that day trading is risky?
Yeah. 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 Plenty of people have told me it's risky.
Whenever
I've heard
they,
it's basically gambling.
oh, of course, 100%.
Oh yeah, I've heard
Whenever
that one
they
way
say-
too many times.
Whenever they said, I'm like, thank you. I didn't know. Thank you.
Yeah.
I've been doing that for a year. I didn't know that it's risky.
Yeah, I just went.
Yeah, if you can gamble for a year and still be alive, then you must be doing
exactly.
something right.
Yeah. That's a solid point though.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right, literally, who gambles for a year straight, like every single day, and it stays alive?
single
Yeah,
day.
seriously, that's a
Freaking
great
nobody?
point.
Like, if I was gambling, you would see me freaking way too in debt. Like honestly, I haven't thought of it like that.
So the next one is because you didn't, like, you just briefly mentioned about military and all that. So I read the book Extreme Ownership,
Mm-hmm.
and it's about the military, and of course some of the things kind of apply to trading, but I think the most important thing is mindset and mentality, how you have to be like there, very disciplined. So what do you think is like the number one or like two very important similarities between the mindset of a military, like of a soldier, and a trader?
I was just gonna ask this question. Good one.
The similarities between the mindset of somebody in the military and the mindset of a trader.
Like your military school experience, how did that feed into your trading mindset?
That's also
Well, again, like most of it has to do with like discipline and just like basically like what that thing did for me was like basically like skill set and things like towards that. I didn't really like gain any like new skill sets from going there or anything like that. Like the only thing that like I really took away, like I said, was like just like the mentality aspect of like that. Like I took basically like more confidence in myself away from doing that. And like I guess you could say like I picked up on like more discipline and like habits, like disciplined habits from being there, because like we were forced to do like certain things every day and like at the same exact times, and like basically everything was scheduled. So that kind of implements over, I guess, in the say from being consistent and like showing up every day and like tracking trades and stuff like that. I guess that kind of goes hand in hand with that a little bit. But other than that, like a lot of it was like I mean, like the first 2 weeks, man, like I couldn't talk to nobody. Like we literally didn't say one word to another kid. Like for the whole first two, like we were given this gold book, and like we basically the whole day we were just sitting in front of our racks reading this gold book. And like if you had to go to the bathroom, bro, you had to go up to your sergeant, bro, put your hand behind your back like this, and then like that, and then you have to like quote like or they would ask you like a question out the gold book, and then you would have to quote the answer like word
Oh
for
my
word.
god.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah, it was
That's
first
sick.
2 weeks was kind of crazy, but then it like lightened up a lot after the first 2 weeks. Like that, it was called acclimation, and that was like I guess they were just trying to put like a hard show on, and then lightened up a little bit after that. But yeah, first 2 weeks.
So did he finish it or what? What happened with the military school? What happened? Did he finish it or?
Oh yeah, no, I finished military school. Yeah. Actually, what had happened? We actually had like a week left. We had like a week. Like, it was kind of the dumbest thing ever because we were there for like 5 months and 3 weeks, and we were supposed to be there for 6 months. And then because of COVID, they decided to send us home a week early. Like that made any difference?
Yeah.
Oh,
right,
I thought it's like a
exactly.
whole school. It's like
So
3 years.
dumb.
I thought like like a high school.
Oh
I
no,
was,
yeah, this is the year that COVID hit, my junior year.
No,
Gotcha.
military school. It's only 5 months.
Oh yeah, the one I went to.
6 months.
Different times.
Oh, okay. So you did finish, right? You said like you wanted to go back so much, but you still finished. Right. Okay, good.
But yeah, actually, what crazy thing that I didn't get into actually is what like I was looking into like when I found out about trading, I was just looking to like make like an extra because I was still going into SEALs. I was planning on going into buds. I was training every day. I was running twice a day, once in the morning and then at night. And I was going to the gym, but mainly at the gym I wasn't doing like any weightlifting exercises because like for buds, like that's not the type of like exercises and stuff you want to do. You want to basically be doing like body weight exercises.
Nice.
Like,
For sure.
all the
Calisthenics?
yeah, like basically that type stuff. And
Yep.
so I was doing all that stuff like when I found out about trading, and I was just looking up like different ways to make money throughout that time because I was gonna take that year and just completely train for Navy SEALs and then like look for different ways to make money throughout that year too. And I was looking into drop shipping, if you guys know what that is.
Oh yeah. Heard all about it.
And then obviously looked into the stock market a little bit, and then that Jack Kellogg interview is what did it for me. Like I was still planning on going to the Nate like.
Was the Jack Kellogg before or after you were watching some of the Tim Sykes videos?
It was after because
okay. So first, okay.
Yeah, it was a little bit after.
Yeah, I was gonna say those didn't come out too long ago.
Yeah.
Well, no, there were December 2020.
Wait.
Oh, December 2020?
Yes.
You mean 2021?
No, 2020.
It wasn't.
Yes, I still can't believe it was like 2 years ago.
Was it 2020?
Yes.
Wait, but he had not.
Yes.
What?
Wasn't there another series though?
Wait.
No, the 4 series, that was 2020. That was when.
That's
no
crazy.
way.
That's when he had that thing. Remember?
No. I don't believe it.
Yeah,
I don't either. That is crazy.
I wasn't even trading in 2020.
That's when he had that thing. I don't know how to like the had like those cold. I don't know how it's called. Like he was very sick. Remember? That was
December 2020. That's when I started like studying for the first time.
That was the hottest market ever. So it was December 2020, then January, February.
Oh, it's February 19th, 2021. That's when part 1 came out. I just checked.
Oh, okay.
But it was pretty close to 2020. That's really early.
Yeah, that's insane.
I'm actually shocked.
Okay, look. It was filmed in December. That's what I was saying.
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
Gotcha. That makes sense then.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Because there were like a Christmas tree was there and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Time flies when you're trading.
It does.
So what I want to say about the book, The Extreme Ownership. So I think one of the similarities is because it talks about how a leader is always responsible for every single thing. Like even if he has like a team and then one member fails, like that's something bad, the leader is the one to blame.
Yeah.
The same thing is trading. If you lose, like look on DPLS, we lost because of level 2, right? But we can't blame level 2,
Right.
Like yeah, the broker had issues, but obviously it was like you can't say it was their fault, but
yeah,
still,
we still kind of got out of their stop loss.
If you look big picture, like that was like our fault. That's blame on us, not like we can't control everything, like we just have to react to the best of our abilities, and we had to sell before, but like when we saw the tape, so yeah, and like in those cases, because people when they lose, they'll say, oh, the guy who told me to
Yeah,
buy,
straight to excuses,
that was
straight
his, yeah. But like every time you lose, that's your mistake, and you have to like own it. So that's one of the similarities.
Yeah, for sure.
I know, yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Jonas, I got a question, and it's so what has been the main, mistake or any like lesson that has been constantly repeating over and over and over again? Like, what has been the one thing that you've been trying to overcome the most throughout trading? Like, has there been something specific that you have like seen yourself falling into multiple times, and you're like, I have to get over this. I have to, get through this. Like, is there something like specific for you?
Getting in before my trigger was a
Oh
pretty,
yeah.
but it hasn't
Yep.
it hasn't been that bad recently. Like,
Yeah.
no,
That was like a month ago, but now you're good. Yeah.
I've been pretty decent about that as of recent, but
Because that buying sugar is a very, very like it's like a unique thing. You can buy not before and not after. You have to buy like in between. It's very hard. So,
literally.
Yeah, I remember when you were going through that, but it's a lot better now.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm trying to think of
mine was hesitation. I remember every time I see an entry, I just couldn't click
remember
buy.
you saying that in one of the stock therapy things.
Yeah. That was
your
the first. Yeah.
Mine is over trading easily.
Overtrading.
Easily.
Mine is switching my system.
Yeah. Well, we all have one, and everyone has to have one. Of course.
Yeah.
Stick to the risk also was mine.
Yeah.
Well, it is actually like it's something
That's
never goes away.
everyone.
Yes.
Yeah, awesome. Xander, you got any questions?
No, but I noticed that like on your slideshow and when you were talking just now, you mentioned like confidence, and I think that's like the biggest thing in trading. Like if you're super confident, yeah, in the early stages it can be bad because you don't really know what you're doing and you'll probably be overconfident and you'll lose. But I think once you like know what you're doing and you have confidence, you can really run further than a lot of other people.
Oh yeah,
Because once you get to a certain level, if you don't have confidence, you're not going to grow how you expect and how you want. So you really need to get confidence at a certain point. And now that it seems like you already have that confidence, it's a huge thing.
Yeah, I think like a big part of that for real has been like sticking to like just like two setups for real, like OTC breakouts and first screen days. Like just like only playing those and like focusing on those, kind of like you obviously you pick up on it quicker, and you like, because obviously like I'm only thinking about those setups when I'm thinking about my trades and everything like that. So like basically everything I have to do with trading is with those two setups. So it's it's just easier to.
Okay, I have an analogy. Let me say until I didn't forgot about it. So it's like confidence it's very important. But so I was overconfident in February 2021, and then in March I lost everything. But like you have to have confidence, and then you have to have knowledge and experience. And the analogy here is, let's say like you have a car, and the engine is like the most important thing, like with a sports car. So engine is confidence, but without like tires, you're not going to be able to drive. So tires is like a knowledge and experience, but then the engine is confidence. So if you have like good tires, and then you have like a very, very big confidence, then you're gonna be the fastest car ever. But you have the best engine, but no tires, like you're not gonna be able to drive.
It's a good analogy.
Good analogy.
I like it. Yeah. Good comparison for sure.
So, yeah, I was overconfident that time, and obviously I lost because I didn't have any experience. But Jack Kellogg in December, he had everything, and that's why he killed it. So that's why I like that moment when Jack made like 6 million in 6 months. Like every time I think about it, like he was so prepared, like it's crazy.
So prepared.
Yeah, it's like.
And he didn't hesitate. Like he used the size. He had confidence.
Yeah, he was the McLaren of that analogy during that time. For sure.
For real.
Jonas, I have a non-trading related question. So I know we've been talking in chat for a while, but we haven't really gotten to know each other. But other than trading and working the third shift, what do you like to do outside of the market?
That's my question.
Well, actually, believe it or not, used to be pretty. Well, I don't know why I said believe it or not, because I told you guys I was gonna join the SEALs. I used to be pretty big into working out, and before I was like doing like the like body weight exercises, I was like pretty big into like weightlifting. And believe it or not, I used to be 40 pounds heavier than I am now of like straight.
Wow.
Yeah. I was literally 170 and 130
Whoa.
right now. But keep in mind I'm 5'7", so keep that in mind.
Gotcha.
So
Dang.
so yeah, that used to be like something I like really enjoyed doing. But like ever since I've started working and trading, and I kind of had school in the mix there for a little bit, but like not anymore. But I kind of had it in the mix in there for a little bit. Like my schedule was just so blocked off, and I like couldn't find enough time to go to the gym. And I've been trying to get equipment in my house so I could just like hit it before the market. Sometimes usually I wake up like 30-40 minutes before the market opens, so like I can eat, and sometimes I'll have time. Like I would have time to hit a quick couple sets of some stuff. But that's one thing, working out. Another thing, I don't know, I used to play video games, but not really anymore.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
There's no
Trading
reason to play it
games
now.
now.
Yeah, for sure.
Trying to think.
Well, working out is a good one.
When I hang out with my friends, I mean, we fish sometimes. We like, I don't know, we ride dirt bikes. I think.
You got a dirt bike?
No, I don't, but my friends do.
Got
So
you.
I just be riding.
I love renting them, dude.
Oh yeah, they're so much fun.
I got this place with 7,000 acres that I go to with my dad and my brother and my uncle, and we just tear it up. It's so much fun.
That's what's up. That's a lot.
Yeah, man.
But I'm actually kind of interested to hear what you guys do, like outside of trading.
Oh,
for fun.
well, I do calisthenics.
Well, yeah, I know that.
Yeah. It's pretty cool that like I started it. That was September 2020. So basically, like I started paper trading in December. So it was almost like 2021 is when I actually like started doing that. So and my goal is full planche, and I would say full planche is the same as consistently profitable trader, and it's gonna happen at the same time because I'm also like making progress at this thing. Like I would say like 25% there. So
that's actually so awesome, bro, to have like two things at one time that
you're
progress in.
Like I'm doing like this, like I'm doing everyday that and then everyday trading. So it's like
yeah, that's live.
So that's my main. I don't do anything else.
Gotcha. Xander, you want to go next?
Yeah, for me, I literally have time for nothing because I, go to school full time and I work part time. So like I go to school on the weekdays, and then when I get home from school, I'm studying and I'm improving my trading. And then on the weekends, I work full time. Well, like all day, like 9 hours, 10 hours. And so I have no time for like, anything. I mean, I shoot some hoops outside, but I don't really.
That's a big one.
Xander's hobby is trading.
Yeah. No.
I'm saying like besides trading, your hobby is trading.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Like
I'm trying to treat trading more like a game, because I think that'll give me more confidence too. But yeah, I don't really. I will have stuff that I do, but don't have time for that right now.
Hey, I'm trying to get into golfing soon. I've never been a golfer.
Yeah, same.
Dude, same.
It's a trading thing.
I suck, but I want to get better.
Yeah,
definitely. And dude, that's something that I think as our futures develop, that we'll all definitely.
I don't know how you all like.
It's the trader life, bro.
I don't know how you all play. Like when I
is.
saw Roland Wolf, that jacked up guy playing golf, like what the hell is this? You have to play like, I don't know, soccer, like that's weird. I don't know, just golf is kind of like boring sport to me.
It's crazy.
It's mental, dude. It's the relaxation of it.
I'd rather play tennis.
I like tennis.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess I'll go next. But I have a lot of moving pieces. I just quit my part-time job, so I was, doing what Xander's doing. I was working like 22 hours a week, and then I'm taking 6 classes in school right now.
Yeah, this guy.
And I'm in freaking
crazy.
honors college bullshit, so I got to do all that dumb stuff. But I hate that. But I just quit my part-time job at FedEx. I have to get another job in 2 months. So at the end of May, I'm just gonna have to get another job anyways. But I had to put my fitness on hold, kind of like you said, Jonas, about you're working at DHL, and it's obviously physically taxing because it's a warehouse job. I know exactly how that is, but I'm really excited to be getting back into fitness right now. This week I've been waking up early every day to just run a quick mile and spend time outside. I've loving being able to do that. I try to get an hour outside of sunlight every single day. I love spending time in nature. Like nature is just so like awesome to me.
Bro, going outside is so huge.
Dude,
So
I love it.
good.
I can literally just like sit out there and just look around, and I'm huge on just like, reflecting every, little thing that happens. And,
Same.
like,
I do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
dude, like all the time, like stuff that like normal people would like, not like normal people, that sounded bad, but, a lot of people would,
Average.
just take for granted. I'll put like increased emphasis on it. And I'll just like, dude, I just find myself like, being so happy and that kind of stuff. And,
Yeah.
I just think that the more that you do it, the happier it makes you. And then, I mean, I have a motorcycle, so I get to just go out and get some air and get the freedom of the road. So that's always fun. And, other than that, on the weekends, I'm, spending time with my family. And, other than that, just, focus on trading every other minute. That's not of the things I just mentioned. So,
Lance, I just want to say real quick, you're an absolute animal.
That's
I
what I'm
appreciate
saying.
it.
Talked to some of
I
my
always say
friends-
that.
I talked to some of my
Thank you,
friends
bro.
who are in college and they have a job. They have part-time jobs too, and they just tell me how they have absolutely no time.
None.
So be doing trading on top of that is just insane and mind blowing.
Dude, it was so like last month like was so bad. Like there would be days where I wouldn't have like 20 minutes of not like doing either schoolwork or trading or working. Like
Crazy.
under like 30 minutes, like I was like kind of driving myself crazy, and I kind of let my health go. And but I wouldn't trade it for the world. It taught me so much about managing my energy
Yeah.
efficiently and never
time.
wasting a healthy moment,
And you're
because that was huge for me. And never wasting a healthy moment, and it teaching me exactly what I don't want to do and like what I don't want my life to be like. Because like knowing like if if you don't get your crap together, like in you don't can, or if you don't like focus on your process every single day and grow and make yourself better than you were the day before, then like what's the point? Because then at that point, if you just stay stagnant, then you could be stuck doing that forever, something that you don't want to do, something that you absolutely hate. And that was just something that spooked me big time. I learned exactly what I didn't want, and I really appreciate it, Jonas. It means a lot, bro.
I actually have something to go off of that too, like about what you were saying, like, and no knock to like any people that like are older that have these type of jobs, but like me,
No,
just,
for sure.
just me working at like DHL and just like seeing like all the people that are working there that are like older, that have been working there like 20, 30 years and stuff like that. It's like seeing that, like, to me, it's scary, man.
Because
Like,
you're using that
really
job.
is.
You're using that job as like like a trampoline to like to your future life, but they're like using it as like the main thing. So
yeah,
and that's to the point, like what you just said, Jonas. Like we're to the point where we're so focused and determined in our confidence in what we love to do, that's never going to be us. And we know that, and we're willing to do whatever we literally have to do possible in order to get out of the freaking rat race. But when we look around and we see this, we're like, that like you just said, it's scary shit. Like it's genuinely scary. Like I'm like, wow, this is what society deems as normality. Like honestly, and it's something. Sorry, Jonas, I'll let you go in a second, but something that I've just said to myself like the last few weeks. A lot of times, things that happen, in society and stuff, what you see everybody else doing, you do the opposite, and odds are it's good if you do the opposite of what literally everybody else is doing. It's like
great point.
Crazy. But yeah, what were you gonna say?
What was I about to say? Hold on.
Well, let me say then.
Go ahead.
I also think about it like how like we have our like job, which is much better than other jobs, but we still like can't blame those people, because as Andy Frizzell said, people also world also needs people who make French fries. Like
of course,
like you can't if everyone's gonna be like a trader or like entrepreneur, then what's gonna be like? There's gonna be no customers. So still.
But that's what I remember what I was gonna say. Like going off that being like scary though, seeing that like there's just part of me though that like feels like deep down like inside that those same people probably never like found something like how we have, and like
right,
completely like dedicated and passionate about something. And we're so young, like it's crazy how young we all are, and like just like how consistent we've been with everything.
Those people are also like as I said, like world needs those people. It's like we need chasers, we need stupid traders. So the same thing here, like if everyone's gonna be smart, if the whole is 8 billion people gonna be smart, then like, well, there's not gonna be any way to even leave. I don't know how it's gonna be if everyone's gonna be smart.
Exactly.
Yeah, Alex, I like what you said there. Like, we need everybody. We need people doing this, people doing this. But I think as long as you love what you do, like a lot of people love a lot of different things.
That's true.
But if someone genuinely loves what
Making
they do
franchise.
and are completely happy with what they do, then that's amazing. I just can't stand the people who constantly complain about how much they hate what they do,
dumb.
and then they do absolutely
Yeah.
nothing about it. I can't stand that. Like, if you're happy doing what you do, then that is fantastic. You keep doing that. But if you're just going to complain and bitch all day and tell everybody how tired you are and all this crap, and you don't do anything about it to, change it, then that is on you. That is on you, nobody else.
You know what I think a lot of that stems from, though? Like, people that are like that? Because I feel like a lot of people, like, kind of limit themselves based on, like, other people's perceptions of themselves.
Yes.
And, like, they'll, like, basically, like, let's, like, even just, like, a warehouse job, for example. Or, like, you have a family, basically, like, where everybody has, like, a warehouse job type thing. Like, you see that, like, basically, like, your whole family does that. So it's kind of like, well, that's normal. That's normal to me. But then you're in a whole family where it's, like, everybody's an engineer. And then you want to be a warehouse worker for the rest of your life. They're like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you know what I mean? It's like, it's kind of like.
Yeah, I mean, when my dad's a mechanical engineer. So when I was, coming up in high school and I didn't really know at all what I wanted to do, they're like, oh yeah, get into engineering. Oh yeah, your dad does this. Oh yeah, engineering is super, super cool. And then all of a sudden I was just like, no, not at all. Not at all for me or what I wanted to do. But yeah, that's important. I love that.
Yeah, for sure. Being an engineer sounds cool though.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds cool until you dig deeper, and then But yeah, man, we just had some great talk about that. I love that conversation. I can't wait to watch this over again.
Oh, me too.
That was really, really great.
I can quickly say how I almost fucked up 75 hard.
I was just gonna ask, yeah.
Yeah, how do you almost? Oh, let me guess. Let me just say something stupid. That's obviously a joke. Did the freaking doctor try to give you a piece of candy for being a good patient?
No, before that. It was so I woke up, I went on running. I was running like 10 minutes. And then a thought came to my mind. I was like, because every day I mark everything on the app and I save the picture, and I was like, did I do that? And I'm like, oh shit, I didn't. And then I opened the app, and then Andy Frizzell there stares at me saying, did you fail? Or did you just forget to mark them off? I was like, oh shit. So then I went into my gallery and I see that I didn't have my usual picture that I take of myself, that. So I thought I was dead. I just fell on the ground. Like, oh shit, well, I'm done. That was like 44 day. And because I had everything planned, we also wanted to go on vacation with family after I'm done. I'm like, oh fuck, everything's messed up now. Because if I restart, I almost clicked on the restart. There's a button. I almost confirmed to restart. And I even Googled, I'm like, 75 days from now. It was saying May 31st. I'm like, oh shit.
Ooh, May 31st.
So, but I just closed the app and I still finished my run, like with that mind and with that thought in my mind. I came home and then I opened my phone again, and then I saw that when I was working out, and I don't usually I record myself when I work out, but not my whole body. So I recorded my planche progress picture, like a progress thing. I never really do. So I did it only yesterday, the day before. And I was like, well, I can technically use that because this is also a progress picture. And I was like, well, yeah, that's true. But that was so messed up. Still, like with my mind, I was so frustrated. And that was when I bought ABB. So, that's why Jay said, like, is that the FOMO? Like, is my emotions there? Because I was so pissed. And I was like, well, technically, look, progress picture, what does that mean? Like, it doesn't mean taking the mirror. It says like a picture that like shows some progress over the time. And that picture for me, because if I take a picture of myself, I don't it's not gonna change, never. Even if I take from today and to 2 years from now, because I was still doing the same thing even before 75 hard. But that picture, it showed the change from day 1 to the 44th day, because that was like a very like hard progress picture there. So yeah, I used that one, and all the other ones I obviously did the day before. So somehow it was very lucky because I never really recorded myself that way. only that day I did that. So it was very, very, very lucky. And I was so relieved when you're like, okay, it's fine. I can use that one. So yeah, I was dead. I was just inside that morning.
Damn, you almost had to start over because you didn't take the right picture.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
What the
Like,
frick, dude?
like I did everything. Like I did all the workouts and I did everything. And only like that little thing, but yeah.
That's what most people mess up on, right? The progress pic.
No, I don't think so. No.
I thought that's what I thought that's what I read him.
Dude, I think most people would have messed up on the no alcohol part.
What?
No.
Honestly.
Well, I think so then the next day we had a doctor's appointment. We took blood tests, and I was so tired all day. That was Friday. I was so tired. Like that day I think that was the hardest day ever. In a day and 75 hard. Yesterday, right? That was yesterday. I was so tired, and then I had to do a workout after I finished because I didn't do my morning workout. Then I have to do another workout after I was dead. So that was crazy, but I finished it finally. So and that was all during the ABB and HMBL swing all day, and I was so like, I was in the doctors again, so that was crazy day. But thanks God, I had the picture. That one picture saved my life.
Dang.
But yeah,
that is crazy. I would have been so pissed if I had to start over because I didn't freaking take the right picture.
Yeah, I mean, it's
My
not like
gosh.
it's not the same exact picture that I usually take, but like if you think mentally, that picture means more to me than any other picture. So, and also another point that I had, like those pictures that I take, I just take to mark the box, right? Like there's no purpose in them. But here, this video I took because I wanted to like record my progress over time. So that's actually was the progress picture. So yeah, so I am alive now.
Alive. Good.
Yeah.
That is great news.
47.
47. Wow. That's crazy. I was trying to think of a question. I had one in my head, but I forgot what it was.
About me?
No.
Okay.
To Jonas.
Yeah, I don't have any other questions. All the questions are answered. Beautifully answered.
Xander, you got any other questions?
No, I
I don't think so.
Jonas, do you have anything else to say? Anything else that's like on your mind?
Other than I'm just glad
when are you gonna hit million?
Oh, when am I gonna hit million?
Yeah.
Yesterday.
Huh?
Yesterday.
Oh wait. Let's ask you a question that Josh asked Jay. Whenever you make $1 million, what are you gonna do that day?
What am I gonna do when I make $1 million?
Like when you hit that milestone.
You have to go out for a dinner? Probably.
Nice.
I don't know. I probably wouldn't make any impulse purchases. Not that kind of guy.
Yeah, same, me either.
But
everything
I don't know, take the people I care about to a nice meal or something like that. Pay for it.
Nice.
You know,
Great job.
Feel like that guy for the night.
That guy.
Does your parents or grandparents do they know about your P&L? Because I told my dad in September when I crossed my break even, I never told him anything about my P&L, about how much I'm up or anything. I'm gonna be like Dax.
They know I'm not losing money. That's what I tell them.
Okay. So whenever you hit $1 million, then they're not gonna know.
Yeah, I'll just pop out the cut.
Nice.
At least your guys' parents know what trading means.
Well,
my mom thinks I'm a salesman for investment strategies.
Dude, that is so funny. I remember you saying that on the last episode. I was like, wow, that's crazy.
And then so I got a really quick story. But so my brother sold his motorcycle today to this 19-year-old kid, and he came over and he started talking about how he, made enough money for him to buy a brand new truck through crypto, and how he really likes stocks, and his mom uses Robinhood. And so my mom was like, oh, Lance really likes stocks, you should go talk to him. So the kid comes over to me. He was like, you like stocks too? I'm like, yeah, they're pretty cool. Because I'm obviously just sitting there I want to hear him out. He's like, so what brokers do you use? I'm like, E-Trade. He goes, oh, I use Webull. Webull is really good. I use eToro. And I'm just thinking in my head, I'm like, oh, hell no. He goes, so you more like, are you like a day trader or are you an investor? I was like, mostly intraday. Like I didn't want to, say
Intraday, look
nothing
what
because
the
I was just listening.
Fancy.
I was like, yeah, intraday. He goes, yeah, dude, that's so hard. I tried day trading, but I just looked at my phone like every 5 minutes and I just couldn't do it.
every
And I'm
5
just
seconds, bro.
thinking, I'm just thinking like, oh my gosh, this kid's never seen a chart. This
Wait, but
kid's
he
never.
actually made money, you said.
No, he did in crypto.
Oh, okay. Well,
He did.
still
He
good.
just invested in something he liked, and he made really good returns on it. And he bought a truck and all this
Whoa.
stuff. But then he was like, yeah, Webull and eToro and stuff. And I was just, thinking. And my dad was like, so after he left, my dad was like, he really seemed really knowledgeable. And I'm just like, yeah, know it all. My dad goes, you should pick his brain and talk to him about stuff. I'm just thinking in my
Oh
head,
my
he should be picking
God.
my brain about stuff. And I'm just
I
like,
wouldn't be surprised if he said, "Oh, you know who's my mentor? My dad's money, bro."
but I was
Matt
just
has
like,
broke above break even.
Yeah, actually,
hey,
he's being
oh
good.
my
He's being good.
gosh. But honestly, the main thing that came out of that, the main thing was like, how far we've come from not knowing anything to where we are now, in conjunction to, what the normal person thinks about investing and stuff in the stock market. And it just, I feel like really, happy and grateful to be able to have learned all of this stuff and be able to have, this skill set for life. And I just think it's like, so cool. Like learning new things, especially things that help you, is like so awesome, in my opinion. So
Yeah, for sure. What's even crazier is how much more there is to learn.
oh my gosh, dude. Can't even begin to think about how much there is to learn. And anybody who thinks, they're complacent with where they're at, like they're done learning, no, tell them to get their ass freaking they're man, it's crazy. It's crazy. And like you were saying, Jonas, how when you find something you're passionate about, how you're like always, determined, focused on the process, that's with anything, that's not, trading only, but like anything you find, outside of trading, like, that you're passionate about. And, like you said, I think that, military school and then, just being passionate in the things that you like, it all ties together. We talk about it in these episodes all the time, how, everything, outside of your trading, all, it all ties together, your mental health, your physical health, your, emotional health, and all that stuff. It all ties together. And, a lot of people just think, I'm going to make this part of my life better. And then, I'll just keep everything else the same and I expect to improve. Like, no, that's not how it works. It's all relative.
It's like a machine. Everything works together.
Of course. Can't have anything off or else it's not going to go.
Exactly.
It's like a series circuit. Like if you take a light bulb out, everything goes out.
Yeah.
I don't know why I just thought of that. But yeah,
That was a good one though.
I appreciate it, man.
Well,
You guys got anything else?
We went over every single country in the world.
I think
Yeah.
so. I think so too. And I'm gonna do a quote from Xander here that he has said multiple times. Xander always says, I know I say this every time, but this is like my favorite episode. I'm going to confidently say that this is my favorite episode so far. And yeah.
That's awesome.
That's it.
Yep, this is a great one.
You guys got anything else?
Well, thank you, Jonas, for coming in.
Yeah, sure.
Of course. Jonas, thank you so much for joining us, man.
Awesome.
We really appreciate it. And in the future we want to get you and Jay on here at the same time.
Oh, I'm so hyped for that for sure.
Yeah. That'll definitely be hype. But yeah, man, thank you so much for taking this time to, share your journey. I definitely learned a lot of lessons, and we getting to know each other a little bit more now, and hopefully the viewers took away a lot from Jonas, because there's definitely a lot of good pieces in this episode. I can't wait to watch it again, that's for damn sure. But
Awesome.
I guess I'll continue to do the outro. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to be on the lookout for episodes in the future, and yeah, go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe if you like what we're doing, and hit the notification bell so you can see every new episode that we post. And yeah, this was a great one. Jonas, thank you for coming on, and great to talk to you guys. And we'll catch you later.
See you.
Peace.
Cheers.